I'm Red Robinson, and these are the legends of rock. Johnny Tillotson scored a string of top 10 hits in the early 60s. Here he tells us how he got his first record deal.
I liked the fact that Archie Bleyer was the kind of man that had a small record company and a select group of artists. He had the Everly Brothers and Andy Williams and the Chordettes. And I didn't want to get with a company where I could get lost in the shuffle. So in my mind, I figured that's who I wanted, was Archie Bleyer. And I'd entered a contest, the Pet Milk Talent Contest, and I was one of the 6 national winners. Actually, I lost the contest, but I took a tape of some of my original songs up, and he just happened to be in Nashville recording the Everlys. And I got the tape to him. He took it back to New York, listened to it, and felt that I could be a record-selling act, and that's what he was all about. You never went in the studio with Archie unless you had a hit song. And if you had one, then he'd write the arrangements. We'd cut all of our stuff in Nashville, but most of it was arranged in New York. You just sit there and arrange it.
He must have had an ear, though, John, to be able to hear that commercial sound.
Well, you brought up the Arthur Godfrey thing. That was that's really where he got that particular talent, because he had to find songs on a daily basis for all the regulars on that Godfrey show and mesh the talent and the material. And so he got very good at that. Like when he would look for songs like Andy and the Everlys and I, he'd go to the office at 9 in the morning and he wouldn't stop listening to songs until 6 at night. And then he'd take all the stuff home that kind of stuck with him and took it from there.
What was the first recording that really was charted for you when you go back then?
Dreamy Eyes was, but the first really big one was Poetry in Motion.
Oh, yeah.
And that was big all over the world.
No question. Later on, I want to talk to you about you traveling around the world and how well received you are with your music. In your music, I notice, and I love it, I'm very fond of it, I notice the roots are really country, or am I wrong there with things like Talkback Trembling?
Yeah, you're right. Actually, if you think about it, Carl Perkins, the Everly Brothers, Jerry Lee Lewis, Conway Twitty, Elvis, all of us had those kind of southern country roots. And our music was just a little different, so it was accepted by both the country and pop audiences.
But is that a preference of yours, John?
I love country music. But then I love rock too. Actually, I grew up on Buddy Holly and Elvis Presley, and so that's what I heard when I was just a kid.
For more legends, visit me at redrobinson.com.